Helen here with Eyes on the Game, and we are here at Conor McGregor's Las Vegas training location. To the right of me, I'm here with Conor's main sparring partner and someone who helped him a lot leading up to his big rematch against Nate Diaz this weekend at UFC 202. Michael Sheil, thank you so much for inviting me down here.
No problem.
And I just have to ask, we're only a few days out. How's Conor looking and feeling?
Amazing, because this week we'd be worrying about weight cutting, maybe doing stuff like this, trying to recover. Couldn't fight week, but his nutrition has been amazing. He's got George Lockhart over. He's got Ido living in the house with him. We've a separate house being sparring partners and stuff. We're roughing it a little bit, but no, he's looking great. It's unmeasurable, his improvement. He's not inhibited by weight. He's not inhibited by, it's going to be an amazing performance this time.
Well, the other day, Conor did have a media day where he kind of addressed, some of the questions. And one thing I happened to notice that he talked a lot about was Nate Diaz's weight, and there's been rumors that he kind of went up to 200 pounds. Do you think that affected Conor at all, knowing that Nate was walking around possibly at 200?
We learn a lot from Conor with mind games and watch what he does to people, and even as a training partner, watch what he does to his training partners. And I have no doubt in my mind that was a mind game by Nate Diaz, because what is the point in carrying that much weight? It's no advantage to Conor's speed. So I think that was just media. I think it was just him putting the word out, maybe hoping Conor would go really high in the weight, and then Conor might sacrifice a bit of speed. But in my mind, I believe that was just Nate, throwing his words. He's a good talker, man. He's like Conor. They're two great opponents, and it's just a shame poor Nate has to lose to Conor in the spectacular fashion he's going to lose. So, I kind of feel sorry for the guy at this point, but he's a great fighter, hero of mine. I love the Diaz brothers. I have great respect for them, but I'm not picturing 5 rounds, and I definitely don't think Diaz is walking around at 205 or 200 pounds.
So if you don't think the fight will be going all 5 rounds, and if you could have your Mystic Mac moment, which round do you think that the fight will end, and how?
As Conor's sparring partner, I don't want to oversell myself or undersell myself, but what he's been doing to me and his other training partners in this camp, I don't know, it's kind of just up to Conor. If Conor comes out and tries to prove a point and do what he's predicted and take him out in a round and a half, I think he will. If he wants to take it 3 rounds, I don't know. It's hard to predict a fight when you're in camp. Honestly, predict it. I definitely think Conor's going to knock him the fuck out, but I couldn't pick a round. It's up to Conor at this. He puts his foot on the gas, Nate's in trouble, and he can put his foot on the gas for 5 rounds this time. So I'd call 3. If I was putting money on that, and I'd say early in the 3rd round, Diaz is just going to give up or get knocked out.
So being his main sparring partner and training partner, what changes did you notice that he's been doing leading up to this fight as compared to UFC 196?
Conor is just a perfect storm of performance and skill. It all happens on the night, and it comes together for him so well. And I think the difference this time is he just, he's took a step back, and like he said himself, he was preparing for a guy that was like a midget compared to Diaz, in a totally different game plan. Desanias was probably going to try move forward at Conor. Diaz was never going to move forward at Conor. So I don't know. He's been smart. He's brought in a full team. He sacrificed a lot. He sacrificed a lot of money to bring us all here. He sacrificed a lot. Got us a house. Got us sponsored in Protein and Greens. Big shout out. So he's taken it a lot more seriously. A lot more seriously than I've seen him take. I won't say it goes far to say any of his fights, but he's definitely seen Conor doing a lot more business this time round. Not messing, not wasting any time. So I think he's just sacrificed a lot on his performance this time. He's sacrificed a lot to guarantee a good performance.
And well, we all saw obviously at UFC 196, Conor was looking good in the first round, and then in the second round got submitted by rear naked choke. So a lot of people were kind of talking maybe about his jiu-jitsu and Nate Diaz being a black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Has Conor kind of been working on that aspect?
We have an old saying, I don't know if it's in Ireland or it's just an old cage fighting saying, is you punch a black belt in the face once, he becomes a brown belt. Punch him twice, he becomes a purple belt. Punch him 3 times, and so on and so forth. And that's what I think we seen when Conor was fatigued. You know what I mean? He went to change the game plan where the fight was happening. Because of Diaz's range, and it was just a sequence of events. I don't think Diaz can say he went and chased and got that choke. I think Diaz won the lotto, like Conor said. To have someone that good at striking shoot in on you, and it's an opportunity that Diaz, if he hadn't missed it, he would have lost the fight. But he definitely did. All the stars lined up for him that night. We've all fought. Anyone here in this gym or anyone that fights out there knows. Skill is a part of it, and then the rest of it is commitment. And I think Diaz was lucky, but I'm dying to see this next one. I really am, and I'm gonna have one of the best seats in the house, thank God. So
you'll be cornering him, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know if I'm gonna be much help, because Conor can definitely teach all of us a thing or two, but it's going to be an experience getting to be his team. Even following him around, we rocked up to the Hard Rock today, full army, 2 caddies, 2 Harleys, a Mustang. I mean, we're ready to take over. And his whole team is here now, so we can back it up.
Well, kind of circling back to the question I was just asking in regards to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So Conor, he hasn't been training like more in that though, right?
No, he has, and Conor's jiu-jitsu is always at a high level, and we can get like pro level boxers getting punched in the face. You can always get caught with chokes, you can always get caught with punches. Conor's jiu-jitsu is very high, very high. Brazilian jiu-jitsu, that term means the gi, and I don't know if it makes sense to put on the gi in training camp. I wouldn't feel like it is necessary or it is a help. So Conor has been grappling. He's been grappling with Dylan Davis, Lee Hammond, Eric. God, I don't know his second name, and I'm actually sharing a room with the guy. Big shout out, Eric.
Don't tell him.
Yeah, we'll cut that bit. He's been grappling at a high level. Even Peter Queally over there, we can't get him in the shop, but he's like a high level wrestler / grappler. We have Dylan Davis there sitting just off camera. So all these guys make for a very, very, very serious camp. And I wouldn't be one to stroke my own ego, but I can throw a dig or two myself. So I think he's done everything in his power, everything that he can control to make it that his performance is going to be sweet. And we have Artem Lobov in there as well, and
who's fighting as well.
Yeah, you can probably hear him hitting pads in the background. That's going to be this guy's poor face tomorrow, or this Friday.
And but Conor's cardio, I noticed in some of the videos, leading up to the fight this weekend, he's been riding a lot of bicycles around. Is that something new he's added in his training regimen?
I think we're seeing he's always on bikes, he's always working his cardio, he's always super fit. When you're on a bike and on a treadmill, this is a very easy way to measure your output. Wearing a heart rate monitor and doing combos on the pads is not consistent. It's not going to give him a steady measurement of the gas in his legs or the gas in his arms or anywhere like that. But this is just something he's been doing just to record his output and his heart rate in certain zones, and it's quite interesting now. With Conor always has these weapons there. It's like he has to use them once and then he knows he can use it, So yeah, I wouldn't say he's relied on it. I haven't seen him doing multiple sessions. He hasn't dropped his sparring. He hasn't, changed his thing. This is just one little thing he added in, and everything else has still been he's still been sparring super hard. He's been putting in lots of boxing rounds with Conor Wallace, future Olympian. So he's going for it. He's really going for it. And if people could learn a lot from what Conor did after his loss and what he did to not only make himself a better performer, but ensure he has guaranteed. People don't understand. They think it's shit talk. They think he's talking smack. I'm in the camp. I'm taking the things he's practicing to use on Diaz, and I pity Diaz because when Conor uses these weapons, it is gonna just be lights out. Good night. He's so sharp. He's it's a perfect storm, and we're gonna watch it kick off Friday night.
Yeah, and Saturday night, UFC 202 at T-Mobile Arena. But is Conor?
Time.
Oh yeah, I'll give you that one. But is he still working with his movement coach?
Yeah. Now, Ido, a big fan of Ido's. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of my many man crushes. But he works with Ido. Ido has some great tricks. But I think when Conor was doing lots with Ido, it was just to kind of get onto Ido's frame of mind and way of training. And now Conor has that. That's something he has. It's in his bag. We don't stay in the same house with Conor, but I know Ido has came out now and is in the house with Conor for fight week.
Was he with him during fight week for UFC 196?
I wasn't part of that camp, so I can't say. But I know they were together, and I know that Ido is a part of the camp.
So for everybody that will be tuning in this weekend, what should they expect from Conor now as compared to back in March?
I don't know how to describe it. We should expect this guy has like his eye on the prize. It's a bullseye. He has a laser locked on Nate Diaz. He has had that laser since he walked out of the cage. It's incredible to think the guy's been able to sleep because he's been just fantasizing and thinking about this fight. I think we're going to see a lot. I just think we're going to see Conor tackle Diaz better. Diaz is tall, and Diaz is one of these guys that could be a terrible striker. He's not, but he could be a terrible striker, and he'd always catch you with that trailing left hook because he's so tall. But Conor didn't train for that. Like that is just a real. It was I know every other title holder in that organisation would have turned down that fight. Even if John Jones was fighting heavyweight, he wouldn't have taken Diaz. There's no way. It's too much of a chance. You're dealing with a guy who's up to fight. He's there every time, and he's 6'2". This guy's 6'2". Conor fights at lightweight. Like it was incredible. He definitely showed us his true character, and I think now this time we're going to have a performance to match his character. And now I'm just waiting for my shot. UFC, a little contract my way.
Yeah, when is your next fight?
My next fight is booked when we go home. Now I haven't got any contract, so I can't announce the fight yet. Yeah. But hurry up and give me a contract and give me some money. I have a new sponsor as well, Euroconnect. Sorry, shout them out. But my next fight is supposedly 2 weeks after we get back. I'm here for a week, and then it should be mid to late September, hopefully. If not, I'm just keeping it deep. I'm going to stay with the camps, and I'm going to keep training. I had a couple of K1 fights there to keep me ticking over. So I definitely, and the nationals in the Irish boxing happen in late this year. So they'll be happening when I go back as well. So I'll be able to enter in those. So just because I have such a good record, 8-1, I shouldn't just take random fights. I should only take good fights. People are going to want my name and want my scalp, and I want their name, I want their scalp, I want their position, I want their money, I want their girlfriend, I want their watch, I want their car. Give it all to me.
And I'm sure you learned a few things from Conor himself.
Oh yeah, like the main things that I worked on with Conor was my fucking defense. It's just been a pleasure. It's been so. We train to fight, usually, and to have these measurements, we're measuring, his output. We're measuring he's fighting me. I'm a welterweight, and I'm a big welterweight. I'm a big welterweight. I fought middleweight my whole career, and Conor is he's pretty much having his way with me,
But do you think leading up to this fight, do you think he feels more pressure?
I don't know if Conor ever feels pressure. The guy just rolls with it, but I think we were just watching this guy, if there was a saying, it's not the top, it's the climb. Conor had like reached the top. Like he had nowhere else to climb to, and then this fight fell through, and then he got offered Nate, and I just think like it was a huge occasion, and he just went out and went for the knockout. And I have a big head as well, and I understand what Conor's saying when he says you gotta tackle big guys differently. You gotta chop him down. You gotta wear him down, or else you gotta just catch him with a big shot. And Conor does not survive on luck. A lot of people say his 13-second knockout behind us of Jose was luck, but I mean, there's no such thing as luck in this game. You got to throw the punch. Conor believes in it. He throws it. He hits him. He knocks him out. I don't think luck plays into this at all. And I think this weekend, I think we're just going to watch him. He knows now. He knows he's fighting Diaz. He knows what he can do to him. There's such a comfort in refighting an opponent you fought, because they're best. And Diaz can say what he wants. I wasn't. We're always training. We never stop training. We could be on the beer partying, and we would probably be training the next day. This is our life. We didn't just do this because it started paying us money. It doesn't pay us money until we get to the highest level.
And once again, the fight is only a few days away. The highly anticipated rematch, UFC 202, here in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. And for you, John, where can the viewers and audience follow you on social media?
Well, I've John Michael Sheil on Facebook is my professional page. I have an Instagram, which would be JM Sheil, and anything. Yeah, just follow us. You'll see us. Mac Life is the best place to see us though, because we're all in that and we're all acting the fool. So big shout out to everyone who's looked after me while I'm here, especially Conor, notorious, and a shout out to everyone in our camp. Us.